Thank you all for letting me testify today. Actually, I proudly represent Texas' 14th Congressional District, which is located along the upper Gulf Coast of Texas. Some of you all probably know a bit about it. And folks, America is at an inflection point where energy independence as well as economic resilience remain defining principles of this, our God-given sovereign nation. Without a strong and reliable energy framework, national priorities such as economic growth, military readiness, which I'm going to talk a bit more about that in a minute, and the uninterrupted delivery of essential goods and services, and we're talking about not just in our country, but around the world. That uninterrupted delivery is worldwide and essential for what we do. America's position on the global stage is directly tied to our ability to produce, to refine, and deliver energy at scale, and to do more so efficiently than any of our competitors or any of our adversaries, to name a few. So we want to do that efficiently and do it quickly, and Texas' 14th Congressional District plays a critical role in that very mission. District 14 is home to some of the largest refining and petrochemical capacity in the United States, including 3 LNG plants in my district, 3 LNG plants, including critical port and waterway infrastructure that move energy products around the world. This system, supported by this infrastructure, is responsible for a substantial portion of the nation's fuel supply, including roughly 27% of America's gasoline, 35% of America's natural gas, and nearly 80% of the military-grade fuel. Let that sink in. 80% of the military-grade fuel. Port of Beaumont, by the way, moves more military personnel and equipment out of the country than any other port in the United States of America. It's extremely important. Maintaining our leadership in the global energy marketplace requires the infrastructure that is capable of supporting that production without constraint. Today, limitations in key navigation channels, along with growing exposure to coastal storm risk, present clear challenges to the reliability and efficiency of these very systems that we're talking about and counting on for the reliability of American energy as well as safety. I come today to highlight 3 key projects essential to realizing the mission of American energy dominance and economic strength: the Galveston Harbor and Channel operations and maintenance dredging projects, one of them, the Coastal Texas Protection and Restoration Project, which the state of Texas has put hundreds of millions of dollars into, and the Sabine-Neches Waterway Channel Improvement Project. The Sabine-Neches Waterway is the second largest waterway in the Gulf of Mexico, second only to the Mississippi River. So it's extremely long. The Galveston Harbor and the Channel boats the busiest entrance channel in the nation. Let that sink in. The Galveston entrance and channel goes up to the Port of Houston. It is the busiest entrance channel in the nation, supporting nearly 10,000 deep draft vessels a year. 10,000, divide that by 12 months. The Coastal Texas Protection and Restoration Project would serve as a safeguard for 30% of the nation's refining capacity, 42% of the nation's specialty chemical feedstock, what a lot of these refineries use, making plastic and everything that we use every single day, and 80%, as I mentioned earlier, of the nation's military-grade fuel. In addition, the Sabine-Neches Waterway alone moves more than 194 million tons of cargo each and every year. It's unbelievable. And those volumes, by the way, are anticipated to go up from 190 to 210 million tons. These projects serve some of the most active and strategically significant energy corridors in the entire United States. And as global demand for American energy continues to rise, these systems are not going to be static. We should not allow them to be static. They need to be improving. They need to be growing. They need to be sending out more product to the whole world, really. They are expanding and increasing further and further under the pressure because we know that this work needs to be done. Addressing these challenges requires targeted investments in the infrastructure that absolutely underpins American dominance in energy. Absolutely, we need to be dominant in energy. For that reason, it is imperative that Congress fund the following projects. Number one, the Galveston Harbor and Channel dredging. We'll submit that, Mr. Chairman. Number two, the Coastal Texas Protection and Restoration Project. And number three, the Sabine Neches Waterway Channel Improvement Project. For our nation to remain competitive, we must ensure that these systems are modern, that they're resilient, and they're fully capable of meeting not just our demands, but global demands as well, global supply demands. So to the chairman and ranking members, I ask that these projects receive y'all's full and fair consideration as we navigate the fiscal year 2027 appropriation cycle. These projects not only benefit the hardworking people I'm so proud to represent, but also ensure that our nation continues to lead the world as the global energy leader. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak about these priorities, and I look forward to answering any further questions.
Mr. Weber, I want to thank you for your testimony before the subcommittee. As always, sir, you do an outstanding job. I have no questions. I'd like to yield to the ranking member to see if she has any questions.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have questions. I want to thank the gentleman from Texas for excellent testimony and just say that we all see that the public believes we can't get along. Both parties can't get along. I would like to suggest to the chair that his public relations staff and mine work together. I'm really proud of the Congress at this moment. We have people who've testified this morning from the East Coast, the Gulf Coast, the West Coast. I represent the Great Lakes Coast, the longest coastline in the country, and that we are working on real improvements for our nation. Yeah. And that despite all of the invasion of the media, the quiet work of the country goes on. And I'm just really impressed with the witnesses this morning and those who've come to the hearing. And I think we have a lot to share. And because all the coasts are represented, Mr. Chairman, I just think that might be something we might want to think about. That there are people who put their shoulder to the wheel in this institution. So thank you so very much, and thank you for your testimony.
Thank you, ma'am.
I thank the ranking member for her kind comments about the witnesses, and I share the sentiments about the testimony today.